In March 2020, the world stopped for COVID. In the same month, Brian's first ever episode of Brian Norrie heard live on Facebook Live, shortly followed by Blue Brian. Now, as the world returns to normal again, in February 2024, I give you the first ever episode of Brian Bakes. And today, we're going to be making buns with icing on the top. So, we shall begin in a minute, but first, need to wash those hands. Make sure we're nice and clean. And dry those hands. Right, that's done. We shall begin. So, for a dozen buns, we shall need some weighing scales to start with, some Stoke butter, caster sugar, self-raising flour, and 2 large eggs. And finally, finishing off with some icing sugar. And a little vanilla flavouring. Right, so first we get our weighing scales and we need our 4-ounce weight. We shall weigh the castor sugar first and weigh out 4 ounces of castor sugar. Get our sieve and our rubbery ball and just tap it into there. Make sure there's no bits. All the way in there, that's it. And now we'll weigh out another 4 ounces, but this time of the lovely Stoke margarine / butter. Get it all into there. Just with a spoon, I think, just to spoon it off. Should be enough here to make a dozen of Brian's buns. There we go. Oh, I forgot as well. What we're going to do as well, we're just going to switch on the cooker to get the oven warmed up. Just come round with me and we'll just turn it on now. We've got the oven down here. And we're just going to turn it on and turn it up to around about 170 degrees. Just get it nice and warmed up, ready for the buns going in a few minutes time. Right, back to the measuring out. Keep going till this drops down. Now just at 4 ounces there. Let's turn you around a bit there so you can see better. Give a little bit more. Look a bit. I always like to give a little bit extra. Just a little bit extra. There we go. we'll get that all nicely mixed together in a second before we add any eggs or vanilla flavouring. So we'll tip this in now to the mixing bowl. Nicely tip it all in there. There we go, put that to one side. We don't need that for now. So there we have the butter and the caster sugar all mixed together. We'll now get one of these lovely little spatula things and we'll just get working in the butter and the caster sugar together. So I'll just give it a good firm pressing down, getting the butter and the caster sugar mixing together. Probably take you around about a minute to do this. Just get it all nicely mixed in together. You can pick it up as well, makes it easier. Put in your arms like this. And like I said, if you like the first episode of Brian Bakes, this will be a weekly series. A weekly series of baking. We'll see what we come up with in the coming weeks. So that's nicely mixed together. Just give that a just get it like that so it's not all sticking together on the spatula. I'll show you the look of it so far in a minute. So we've preheated the oven to about 160/170. Just get it nice and warm for when it's ready to go in about 3 or 4 minutes from now. So this is what it looks like now. There we go, can you see? There we go. Right, we're now going to add the 2 eggs. So we've got 2 eggs here from Morrison's. Nice 3-range eggs there, nice 3-range eggs. Like how the chicken's running around, don't we? So, I'll get the egg and just crack it on the edge of the bowl in a minute. So let's crack it and unwrap it. Voila! 1 egg into the bowl. Second egg, tap and unwrap. There we go. Second egg into the bowl. Just give them hands a quick wash off again. Got a bit of egg on the hands there. And then hands off again. Eggs out of the way. Look, a bit of vanilla flavouring as well. Just get that into the bowl. I normally use the cap and just fill the cap up and tip it in. There we go, put that to one side and we'll give this a mixing together as well now. We'll give it a good old mixing together. There we go. There we go. Let's get that there. So there's it, look, a bit of shell just there, so we'll just get that bit out. We don't want the shell in, do we? And away we go, mixing again. Mixing it all together. I'm getting it nice, light and fluffy. All sloppy. Go wiping off again. So it's always best just to take a look, a bit of time doing this. No rush. And away we go again. So I'll go through the ingredients again while I'm just mixing it in. It's 4 ounces of butter, 4 ounces of caster sugar, 2 eggs, 4 ounces of self-raising flour, Then we bake it in the oven for 20 minutes, around 160 to 170 degrees. Bring it out of the oven, let them cool down on the wire rack, and then we ice them with the best icing sugar around. So, that done there, now nice and sloppy, you can see. We're going to get our self-raising flour and measure out 4 ounces of this. Wait for it to go down. Up and down. Look up. That's I say. I have to give a look a bit extra at all times. There it is. But don't just tip it in the bowl. What we do next to make it nice and light and fluffy, we get our sieve again, hold it over the bowl, and just sieve that flour into your bowl. Tapping as you go. And then you do the shaking back and put the freshness back. You do the shaking back and put the freshness back. There we go. All in. And it should look a little bit like that. Now we'll mix all that together. This is where you want to take your time. So you want to get all that lovely ingredients all mixed together. So I would normally hold this in the air and just like this and give it a good old waffling, but obviously if I do that you can't see it quite the same, can you? So if I just take a look a bit longer and just do it on the counter. Coming along nicely now. It's coming along nicely, guys. Like I say, if you like this first episode of Brian Bakes, just put some comments in the comment section below, and who knows what we shall have next week. Obviously it'll be some sort of cake, because obviously I only bake cakes, but who knows what cake it'll be. Maybe actually a cherry cake or flapjack, but we'll find out next week. Right, that's looking sloppy. That is looking good. If I do say so myself. Right, I'll just show you the mixture in a minute. Go around the ball. Up again. Oh yes, that's looking all mixed in nicely. I'll show you it now. So there is the mixture. So what we need now, let's put that to one side. Neat and tidy, tidy and neat as they say. Move our things to one side. And what we need now is one of these, a bun tin. But we don't put straight into the bun tin. What we use, I'll show you, we use these bun casings. So, should be enough to make 12 of these buns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, also helps for your counting for mathematics, 10, 11 and 12. There we go, 12 bun casings. And there should hopefully be enough mixture to make 12 cakes. We'll find out, shall we? So, what we need for that, we'll need, probably the best way of doing this is a large spoon and a small spoon. And all I do, I just scoop out with the large spoon and scoop it off with the small spoon. Scoop out with the large and off with the small. And obviously if we do this 12 times, we should have 12 buns, all being well. That's just trying to fall off on me. Come back, come back. There we go. This is always a tricky bit, but we get there in the end. Gives the oven the time to warm up as well. There we go. So, who remembers Brew Brian and Brian Orey then from the 2020 year? I hope you tuned in for that. Hope you enjoyed the stories I gave you. Come back. Trying to fall over again. There we go. So what I like to do first is just put a little bit in each case. Come back, come back, come back, come back. Better. That's it. There. So get a little bit in each one so they sit still and stop falling over like they are doing at the moment. I think it's because it's a very deep tin, this one. I normally use a thinner tin so they don't fall over the same. There we go. Should be easy now though because they've all got a little bit in. So we go around all 12 again. Just add in a bit more to each one where we need it. So who's coming round to lick out the ball when I finish then, eh? Who's coming to lick the ball out? You have to be quick, otherwise I'll be doing it. So while I'm just doing this again, I'll just remind you of the ingredients. It's 4 ounces of caster sugar, 4 ounces of butter, 2 eggs, a splashing of vanilla flavouring or vanilla essence, and 4 ounces of self-raising flour. We then put it in the oven at around 160 to 170. Anywhere around that temperature is fine. And leave it to cook for 20 minutes. And then what we do when it's cooked, we have a wire rack like this, and we just put them on there to cool down while we do the icing sugar. And spread that on the end when they cool down slightly. Right, I think we're almost ready to go in the oven, guys. We're almost ready to go in the oven. And I get to lick out this ball. Right, there we go. I think they're all about even. We'll show you what we got. So there we go. There we go. All ready to go in the oven. We'll turn you around. We'll turn you around to the oven. Here we go. Don't need our gloves on at the moment because obviously it's not that hot. Open the door and carefully put them in. It's 5 to 12. Put it back up and they'll be ready about 12:15. Okie dokie. But what we do now, we don't waste time. While that's going on, we just wash up and leave the place tidy. So we'll do the washing up next. Stay with me. You've got me for another 20 minutes yet while they're cooking. Right. I don't know what I'm going to talk about for 20 minutes. We'll just waffle on a bit, shall we? See, Zippy's been watching. Morning, Zippy. easy. So that's the beauty. If you wash up while you're cooking, there's no washing up to be done at the end, is there? Also gives you time to put all your ingredients back away. Because obviously there's not a lot you can do while your cake's cooking, is there? So it makes sense to be doing something. Now if you had smell-o-vision on the Facebook Live, you'd be able to start smelling the cake's cooking soon. Oh, that's what I need to do, don't I? I need to lick out the ball. I'll put the butter back away. We'll get our tub out of here and put the rest of the ingredients back away. Neat and tidy, tidy and neat. So that's the caster sugar away. And the flour away. The rest of the bun cases we don't need away. And the vanilla flavouring back away. There we go. Also give this a wash off. Yeah, so next week on episode 2 of Blind Bakes, it will probably either be flapjack, cherry cake, lemon cake, or scones. May even have a vote on it to let the public decide what they want in episode 2 of Blind Bakes. There we go. It's nice and washed. Leave that to soak off a bit. Put the weight scales back where they go over here. The weights, there we go. Eggs back away. So what I will do in a few minutes, I'll boil the kettle because we need boiling hot water for the icing sugar, and I always mix it into a lovely clean cereal bowl like this. Like I said, we don't need to do that just yet. Give me a sieve a wash off as well. Now, like I say, I hope I'm still going live and it's not gone off, otherwise I'm just talking to myself meaninglessly, but hopefully we're still everybody there in Facebook world. So washed off. Right, time to lick out the ball before I wash it up. This is one of the best parts of the job. I used to do this as a kid then when the mum used to cook when you were younger. You get to lick out the ball as well. Don't mind me, will you? Very nice. So about another 15 minutes yet till the cakes are ready to come out of the oven. Right, we'll wash out the bowl now. Wash out that bowl. Sometimes I dry everything off as well while I'm waiting, but I won't bother drying everything off today. I just let it just drip dry naturally. There we go. Everything washed off. Just looked in the oven, I can see they're just starting to rise now. The cakes are just starting to rise. We've got about another 12 minutes yet, 12 minutes till they're ready. So what I would normally do at this stage now, with 12 minutes to go, I normally boil the kettle so the water is lovely and hot, ready for the icing sugar to go in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to boil this kettle now, and I'll leave you just looking at the oven for the next 10 minutes, so I'm going to have a sit down, and then I'll come back in and we'll check the cakes and see if they're ready. So now I check the cakes. I have one of these skewers and I just stick it in the middle of one of the buns. If it comes out clean, we know the buns are ready to come out of the oven. So I'll leave you now with the sound of the kettle boiling, and you can keep looking at that oven there. Okie dokie. Back in 10 minutes. Enjoy. We fell down. What happened then? We're back up again. Because I heard it falling over. Yep, still recording. Right, I'm back. Shall we have a look, see how the cakes are getting on? I think they won't quite be ready yet, but have a quick look. No, they're still about another 3 or 4 minutes yet, so we'll come back in a few minutes. Right guys, I'm back. The buns I've had 20 minutes in the oven at approximately 160 to 170 degrees. We've got our skewer ready again. One other glove on. Shall we go in, test them and see if they're ready for coming out onto the cooling rack. Ooh, got some smoke going on in there. Let's open it out. Let's try one in, one out. Looking clean to me. We'll just give it one more minute to brown up. I'd say they're ready for coming out. 1 minute and we'll get them out of the oven. We'll give that skewer a wash off. Dry our hands again. Just quickly reball the kettle. It shouldn't need reballing, but we'll just give it a nice warming up, that kettle. We'll get our gloves on. Ready for action. Switch the oven off first. Mustn't forget to switch that oven off, guys. Open up the oven and bring out a dozen of Brian's buns. Here they come. And they're smelling scrummy yummy. Let's have a look at them, guys. There they are. 1 dozen Brian's buns. I'll turn you back round. Turn you back round. We have the cooling rack ready. And we'll get the buns onto the cooling rack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This can now go ready to be washed. So we'll just give that a washing up while that's cooling off a bit. So if you tidy up after yourself, there's nothing left to be done. I'll give this tin a wash out. There we go. Just pause there for a minute for some reason. Right, carry on. So we just washed up, dried our hands. We don't need the gloves anymore, they can be put away. So what we need now is the icing sugar. Sometimes I would sieve it into my bowl, but I'll wash these sieve up today, so we won't bother with that. And we'll just tip, I never measure this, I just tip in what I feel I need. So for a dozen buns, it's probably a good, probably 2/3 of the bowl full. So I'll show you now. Can we see the bowl there? There we go. There we go. Where am I? There. That's the bowl. Right. So what I'll do now, I'll get my tablespoon and my teaspoon. Boiling water kettle. Be careful here, don't burn yourself. And I just slowly add a tablespoonful at a time and just give it a mix, because obviously you don't want it too sloppy. Obviously 1 tablespoon is going to be nowhere near enough, so we'll start with 3 tablespoons to start with. So 3 tablespoons full of boiling hot water. And then just start mixing the icing sugar into a paste. Now I've used tons of icing sugar here, so although it's getting a little bit thicker, 3 tablespoons full is still nowhere near enough. So we'll do our 4th tablespoon. Normally this amount, I'll probably end up with about 5 or 6 tablespoons, but I don't want to put it in all at once, because obviously if you do get it wrong, you're going to end up with very, very sloppy icing sugar. You don't want that, because obviously it'll just run off your buns rather than stick to your buns. So it's getting to look a bit better, but we still need some more. So tablespoon number 5 going in. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Brian's Bakes. Obviously today's first episode was Brian's Buns. This takes a little bit of time, but obviously you don't want to rush this job, because this is what basically is the icing on the cake, as they say. So I'll add another tablespoon. Anybody been counting? I think that's about 6, which is normally around about the right amount. I'll just give it a tweaking round. And this is now just about perfect, I say. Give that a good old stirring up. Oh yes, that is lovely and creamy looking icing sugar. Ready to go on top of the buns, which are nicely cooling on these wire back. So I can put me kettle away, put my icing sugar away. So as you can see now, my work surface perfectly clear. All that's on it now are my 12 buns ready for icing and my icing sugar. Right, so let's ice these buns, shall we? It's a bit like when you're mixing your mixture into your tray as well. It's pretty similar to that. So just dollop up on the top like that, dollop up on the top. Then a small spoon and just gently spread it round the top. And there you go, that's one done. Number 2. Nice dollop in the middle. Sometimes it's easy just to pick it up. Bottom of your tablespoon, just gently go around it. And that's 2 done. Number 3. To be honest, I'd probably let them cool down a little bit more than this, but obviously because I'm going Facebook Live, I didn't want you just staring at an empty screen for most of the time like you did when it was in the oven. So that's 3 done. We have 3 now. Move on to number 4. All being well, done just about the right amount for 12 cakes. We'll find out in a minute or 2. Cake number 4. Can I just say, these smell absolutely gorgeous. Obviously, I can't put the smell up, can I? But you just have to take my word for it. Bun number 5. Icing sugar right again in the centre, like that. And then just gently spread round, thus. Yeah, I think I've got enough icing sugar here. Number 6. Here goes. In the middle again. Spread it round. And because I've done this Facebook Live, you should have, basically, from start to finish, including washing up. Only thing obviously left to wash up will be this spoon, the 2 spoons, and the bowl of icing sugar, whatever's left in the bottom of the bowl after doing 12. There you go, that's another one. This is number 8. I think I'm going to have just about the right amount here of icing sugar. Like I say, I never measure my icing sugar, I just kind of like guess it, if you will. After doing these buns for years on end, you kind of like get to know how much you actually need to mix. Got it wrong yesterday, actually only had enough for 11 buns. But it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Swings and roundabouts. 9 done. Number 10. Yeah, I think it's going to be about bob on the right amount today. That's 10. 2 after ice.